Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of January 18th through the 24th. And during that time, we have a new moon that comes in on the 19th. And of course, that's a time for a fresh start, new beginnings, good time to learn a new skill or start any new projects that you've been thinking about, either inner or outer. And a good time to make new decisions also. We then move into the waxing crescent energy for the rest of the week. And that, of course, is a time of heightened senses. Good time to execute the things that we've just started on the new moon. Maybe plan, make little adjustments, and live up to those expectations and those intentions that you've set for yourself. So keep those moon energies in mind. It's just a time to buckle down and get to work on some new things. This will be an intuitive general reading for the energies that you may or may not encounter, Gemini. So, as always, please take what resonates today and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading, Gemini, is the energy is gaining momentum. All right, let's see what the Gemini Collective has going on for the day or for the week. I guess day and week, we could say. As I'm shuffling, Gemini, my fun little message for you this week is that you take the time to learn something new. So, of course, here we are with this new moon, and it is a good time to do that just because of the moon energy. But, oftentimes as adults, we just forget to. I feel like I'm learning new things every day, but to really do a deep dive on something and really buckle down and learn something, I have to really kind of force myself to do that, or just to set aside time to do that, right? And I will say, and there's even things about, I'll say, oh, I want to go learn about that. Excuse me. And I'll put it off. So you may maybe even make yourself a list. I do have a list like that of like, oh, I want to learn about this thing. And there's just so many things to learn about. But just take the time, give yourself an hour or two, either read a book, find a lecture, any way that whatever it is that you're learning about, just take the time to do it and to really study, take notes, and really take the time to learn about the thing. So we've got cards trying to come out already for you here. So Gemini, the energy is gaining momentum January 18th through the 24th, and your present energy right now is Five of Swords. So fives are about conflict, so there might be some sort of conflict or something that's going on with you right now, maybe words being exchanged, and that's some energy that's gaining momentum. So if you have something like that going on in your life right now, I'm sorry, my nose is just all of a sudden very itchy. If you have something going on in your life right now, what energy is gaining momentum? Is it something that you can quell by maybe being not so negative, maybe not speaking negative words? Swords are about air energy, so it's negative thoughts, negative things that are either coming from you or affecting you from someone else. So, and if you feel like you have a situation like that, just be aware that it might be something that you need to take care of. Interject some calm conversation into, maybe not be so mean with your words or react accordingly if someone is mean with theirs. Might just be time to say, hey, let's talk about this a little more. Your current situation is things are happening quickly here with the eight of wands. I'm sorry. So things are coming in, and again, it could be words, messages, and just a time of change right now. I feel like, I've noticed that on the planet, not only in my life, but I'm seeing it in other people's life. There are some things changing. I mentioned last week that we're, in this new year energy of it being a one numerologically, and it's about new things. So that kind of it just disrupts the flow of everything a little bit. I think the dust will settle. I also think we're all going to be on the edge of our seats all year. So just keep that in mind. Things are kind of rapidly changing and things going on at the time. At the root of your situation is the World card. So this could be that you are kind of in a place of perfect balance and you don't want the changes that are coming, and there's really nothing you can do. Sorry, you're going to have to, if you're feeling like you've been kind of settled and you're a perfect little balanced world and things are going, and then all of a sudden here comes the universe changing things. Sometimes we're all just going to have to roll with stuff and say, well, that's the changes, that's life. Things never really, what is it the saying? The more that things change, the more they stay the same. So things are changing, but don't worry. Again, dust will settle. In your recent past, Gemini, is the Eight of Swords. So you might have had a situation here where you were feeling a little bit stuck. I will also say look up angel number 88, see if that has any bearing on whatever you might be going through this week. There might just be a bigger message there for you. I think also what was the last reading? I just did Taurus's reading. I believe they had an 88 too. So if you have a Taurus in your life, you may want to think about them too as you're applying that message to a situation that you have going on because they had the same number. So what is on your mind this week is the Justice card. So on your mind is getting to, this is also perfect order like the World card. This card is about, order and balance, and so is this card, oddly. So you've got that kind of on your mind and at the root. And I feel like I do feel like you're just saying, can we not do that? Can we not do whatever this is? Because I really enjoy this perfect balance. I like the stability I feel like something is trying to mess with your stability a little bit. And it could just be a learning experience. It could be something that's coming in to say, hey, I know you're happy and you're balanced right there in your nice little cozy world, but it's time to learn a little something too. We can't just get stagnant, right? What is just ahead of you this week is feeling like you against the world here with the 7 of Wands. So it could just be something that you're just standing your ground on, and that's okay. That's okay. But I always say when you're feeling like you against the world, you also kind of have to listen to the world a little bit. Hold your ground, but also be open to at least listening to the other side. There's always two sides to every story. If you're really trying to get to the truth, you're not going to get so locked into the thing that you think that hard. If you're really about seeking truth, you are going to take the time to at least listen to others and hear them out, right? In your advice position, Gemini, is the Knight of Swords. So it looks like messages, again, coming in quickly. I feel like whatever this is maybe comes and goes quickly. It does seem to be about some sort of communication or some sort of something. This could range anywhere from media, something that you're being introduced to that's having some effect on you or making you want to know the truth about it. Of course, there's a lot of that going on right now. If that's something you're engaged with, if it's not, don't worry about it. That's fine. Live in your comfortable bliss. I'm jealous of you. So I know I asked a couple of my kids this week about, and by kids, I mean they're adults at this point, but asked them about a couple of different stories in the media just to get their take, their opinion. And my favorite answer from them is, what? I didn't even know what was going on. And I'm like, I'm just jealous of that. I'm jealous that I love that. And I want to be more like that. I strive to be more like them. So but yeah, things, the advice is to I guess say what you have to say, because that's the advice is get your opinion out of the way. Again, you might be the cheese that stands alone, but I think you have a thing to say. So go ahead and say it. That's in your advice position. What is beyond your control this week is your ultimate happiness. So we've got a lot of balance in between the chaos. Again, I feel like it's like something trying to interrupt your balance and your peace. And maybe just don't let it totally. Maybe, say the thing that needs to be said and then let it go. Let it go. What can you do? What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid this week? Well, I hope you're trying to avoid this. Here we are with another 5. So this is about debate. Maybe this could even lead to argument, whatever, but it looks like you are trying to avoid it. I don't think that's your secret desire. Now we're at the point where we have 2 5s on the table. Of course, those are about disruption. So also look up angel number 55 and see if that means anything to you this week with whatever your life situation is. But please, again, try to avoid, and the best way to avoid this again is to not only be the one delivering that message or being the cheese that stands alone here, but it is by listening and really letting your ultimate goal being not being right, but really wanting to get to the truth. So if that's your ultimate goal, I think you can maintain some balance and some happiness there. In your outcome position, is a little bit of a broken heart here with the 3 of Swords. So, maybe someone does change your mind. Maybe you're a little sad about it. Maybe, and even though this is going through a heart, because it is sword energy, and I feel like it's also kind of broken mind. Like something is just like, it's just so unfathomable at the end of the week that you just can't even believe that you're having to think about it. And that could be a thing too. Um, but yeah, I feel like you're just not, you're kind of agitated about it. And again, I feel like it's something that's just disrupting. It's disrupting your peace, your happiness. and don't let it, if you can help it. I mean, I think maybe that's what this card reading is telling you, is just don't let it be that is it that important? And also to be a person that wants to know, that wants to get to the truth, not just be right. What is hidden for me this week, Gemini, is the 10 of Wands, which is kind of the wrap up and the ending to something. So I don't see that that is hidden. I don't think it ends this week. Whatever this conversation or this disruption, it's not even a disruption. I almost see it as like an ongoing discussion about something, ongoing words that are exchanged about something, and you have strong opinions. But again, ask yourself, are you trying to be right or be get at the truth? So let's see what the Soul Oracle deck has to say as we wrap this reading up for Gemini. Soul Oracle has a card that definitely wants to come out, and it says, do what you love. Do what you love. Do you love this? Or do you love your peace and your harmony and your happiness? And if that's, again, I'm jealous of my kids that say, what's going on in the news? So, if you're busy doing what you love, you're not paying attention to that, which usually almost always has zero effect on your actual day-to-day life. So just my advice, maybe stay away from that and do the things you love. I mean, that's what the cards are saying. Do you really need to be that engaged in this argument? Probably not in the end. All right, Gemini, let's get a self-care card for you. What does Gemini need to do in the way of self-care for this week? Move is the card that you get. A long walk is good for the soul. Get outside and allow Mother Nature to lift your spirits. All right, so if you're feeling agitated about it, nature is the best way to get out and heal. Now, it is not sunny and warm here, like in that picture, but hopefully it is where you are. And if it is, we're all jealous of that because it's cold here, very wintry. And I don't want to get out and move in this kind of weather. It's just too cold. My body's like, where's the sun? Again, I've got things, all the Christmas things came down, and things that are out in my house are very bring on spring. It's like, bring it on, we're ready. There's mushrooms and bunnies and things that are out that are just making me think spring already. I know we're not even kind of through January yet, but we're getting there, and we're just getting closer and closer to that warmer weather, which is my favorite time of the year. So, but again, if you need to get out in nature, again, what do they say? Get out and touch grass. And if this is, 'cause for some reason I do, for some of you, it's maybe some kind of media thing that's going on that you're just kind of engaging and going back and forth. And what do they say now? The kids say they get out and touch grass. It's the way to do. It's really more important probably than the thing that is going on. So, Gemini, thank you so much for being here. I do hope that there is something in this reading that you can take away and use in your life. Don't forget to do what you love. And also, the energy's gaining momentum. So if you need to disperse that energy, get yourself out in nature. Probably not a bad idea for all of us. So again, if you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below. Let me know if this is resonating with you this week, or if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer those. Also, if you like my reading style, Geminis, please hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps my channel. I appreciate that so much. But more importantly, it'll help you find me next week, where you can come back and we can see what your energy is for that week. So thanks so much, Gemini. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.